Hello, and welcome to Chabot News for November 4th, 2020. My name is Eva, and in today's news, we will be covering possible travel requirements for the Bay Area. In entertainment, Taryn will be covering the tragic passing of Sean Connery. In sports, Eric will talk about the 49ers' performance against the Seahawks. And in our top 5, Gabe will count down the top 5 conspiracy theories. All that and more coming up on Chabot's News. The Bay Area is now considering a 2-week quarantine for out-of-state visitors. This comes leading up to a holiday season in which many are expected to be traveling all over the country. I want to be clear, it's a conversation. We have not made a decision, Marin County Public Health official Matt Willis said about the idea. The city of San Francisco has also confirmed that there is no decision has been made on their behalf either. Daily infections are on the rise, all but in 3 states, which means that this pandemic is surely something to still keep track of. And now, with Taryn to bring us the latest news on entertainment.
Thanks, Ava. Even as the pandemic drags on, it wouldn't be a Halloween weekend without a scary movie atop the box office. David Daniel haunts us with early estimates of the weekend's top 5 films. Come Play, the horror/drama that was released a day before Halloween, as the debut at number 1 at the box office. The film is about parents fighting to save their life from a son from a creature who used electronic devices to enter the world.
Hey, wait. We gotta try it.
Try what?
Calling the empty man.
The Empty Man scared up just $561,000 in its sophomore weekend, falling to 5th place.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet.
Tenet dropped to number 4 with $885,000.
You're not putting me in a home.
What if it were our home?
The War with Grandpa made $1.1 million, settling into 3rd place in its 3rd weekend in theaters.
I want to make a deal.
What kind of deal?
I hand over all the money I stole in exchange for a reduced sentence.
After 2 weekends at number 1, Honest Thief stole down to 2nd place with $1.4 million.
I just want to be your friend.
Come Play, about a lonely boy befriended by a monster who enters our world through digital devices, frightened off the competition with a chart-topping debut of $3.2 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Thanks, David. On Halloween, a well-known, respected actor Sean Connery passed away in his sleep at the age of 90. Sean Connery is known for his classic role as James Bond in 7 different James Bond films from 1962 to 1983. Sean Connery also appeared in several other well-known films such as Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. Producers of the iconic James Bond franchise confirmed his death Saturday morning. Connery, a native of Scotland, was born in 1930. Scotland's Prime Minister says he was born into a working-class family and through talent and sheer hard work became an icon. He completed 3 years of naval service, then worked several jobs as a bricklayer, lifeguard, and even a coffin polisher before transitioning into acting. He got his big break in 1962 by playing in the classic 007. His 5-decade-long career was dominated by the British super spy role of James Bond. He starred in 7 movies from the franchise. The actor eventually branched out into other roles, winning an Academy Award for the Best Supporting Actor for The Untouchables. He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in July 2000 for his contribution of the arts. He said it was one of the proudest days of his life. Connery retired from acting in 2005. In a statement, the James Bond producer said they were devastated by the news of Connery's death. Other tributes were pouring in all over social media of the beloved star. Sean Connery's memory will live on not only in our hearts of many, but in the films he starred in as well. Now back to you, Ava.
Who will be the next president of the United States? A day after the historic election, it is still unclear as millions of legal cast votes are still being counted in key states. Camila Bernal has the latest on the race to the White House, live from Wilmington, Delaware.
It's all come down to the battleground states, and Americans still wait for results in this historic election.
Every legal ballot will be counted in Georgia.
What's been happening here on the ground in Michigan, all throughout the state, are bipartisan groups of election workers tabulating those ballots effectively, methodically, and securely.
All eyes on one number: 270 electoral votes needed to claim the presidency. Millions of legally cast mail-in votes are still being counted in several key states that are too close to call, including Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania will have a fair election, and that election will be free of outside influences.
Early Wednesday morning, President Trump prematurely claiming victory while making a baseless allegation of fraud.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Meanwhile, Biden is urging patience as each vote is counted.
As I've said all along, it's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election. That's the decision of the American people. Keep the faith, guys. We're going to win this.
Thanks, Camila. President Donald Trump threatened legal action over legitimate vote counting in the 2020 presidential election. He falsely claimed victory early Wednesday morning. This comes as several states have yet to be called. Meanwhile, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden says all votes should be tallied. John Lorick reports.
A baseless allegation shortly after 2 a.m. Eastern. President Donald Trump disputing ballot counting in the 2020 presidential election.
This is a major fraud in our nation. We want the law to be used in a proper manner. So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop. We don't want them to find any ballots at 4 o'clock in the morning and add them to the list.
Former Vice President Joe Biden says the election has to be decided by the voters of the nation.
As I've said all along, it's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election. That's the decision of the American people. But I'm optimistic about this outcome. It ain't over till every vote is counted. Every ballot is counted.
The 2020 presidential race coming down to a handful of critical toss-up states that could take days to count all their votes. It's those states that will determine the final outcome of the election. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Thanks, John. Among the CNN is projecting President Trump has already won Texas, Florida, Ohio, and Kentucky. Among the states projected for Joe Biden, Virginia, California, New York, and New Mexico. Now over to Gabe with the top 5 conspiracy theories.
Thanks, Eva. For this week's top 5, we're going to go over cover the top 5 conspiracy theories. Coming in at number 5, we have Area 51. According to the U.S. military, Area 51 is a flexible, realistic, and multi-dimensional battle space to conduct testing, tactics, development, and advanced training. Many conspiracy theorists believe that Area 51 is home to aliens and UFOs. At number 4, Tupac Is Alive. On September 7, 1996, Tupac Shakur was shot at the intersection of Koval Lane and Flamingo Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. After 6 days in the hospital, Dale Pugh, the marketing and public relations director for the University Medical Center, claims that Tupac Shakur passed away. A day after passing away, Tupac's body was supposedly cremated and his remains were given to his mother. Conspiracy theorists believe that Tupac was never shot and he is still alive and is living in Cuba. At number 3, the moon landing is fake. Throughout the mid-1900s, the United States and the Soviet Union had fierce competition in aerospace capabilities. On July 20th, 1969, American astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin became the first humans to ever land on the moon. It makes me wonder, why haven't humans gone back to the moon with the advanced technology that we have? At number 2, 9/11 was an inside job. On September 11, 2001, 4 passenger planes were hijacked by Islamic terrorists and crashed the planes into the Twin Towers and into the Pentagon. Or did they? Many conspiracy theorists believe that 9/11 was an inside job and the Twin Towers were blown up by the United States government instead of being crashed into by planes. At number 1, 5G causes the coronavirus. Conspiracy theorists claim that because 5G towers were tested in Wuhan, it has become an epicenter of the virus. Although this isn't a clear correlation between the coronavirus and 5G, many people oddly believe that 5G causes the coronavirus. That is all for this week's Top 5. Back to you, Eva.
Thanks, Gabe. Today, Wednesday, November 4th, is National Stress Awareness Day. And chances you are struggling to lower your stress with all this election anxiety and COVID-19 relentless assault on your well-being. In today's Health Minute with our reporter Meredith Wood, one expert shares 5 strategies to lower your stress and to stay calm among all the anxiety.
Post-election anxiety, the pandemic, working from home. Experts say it's all making it very difficult to manage our stress levels.
Not really distinguishing between work and home, moms with all the kids at home, etc. It's been very, very stressful for many, many people.
Dr. Graham Simpson, medical director for Opt Health, a telemedicine app, says it's all about self-care. Here are his 5 tips to de-stress. Number 1, move your body. Release feel-good endorphins by exercising or simply stretching. Number 2, breathe. Take little breaks to rest your mind and recenter yourself.
And breathe in and out through your nose, not your mouth. Because when you breathe in this way, your whole body tends to relax.
Number 3, get enough sleep. Getting enough rest boosts your mood, so create a routine.
You want to try and go to bed at a similar time. If it's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, you wake up at 7 in the morning. Try and get into that habit.
Number 4, do things that make you happy. Pick up a hobby, learn new things to boost your mood. And number 5, measure your levels. Even if you're doing all the right things, you could still be struggling.
You can't really feel good and feel stress-free without having your hormones and nutrients balanced. A lot of the nutrients can be easily measured just with a simple blood test. And similarly with the hormones.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Thanks, Meredith. Ever since the start of this global pandemic, California has been seeing an exodus all over the past few months. A new study now says that the Bay Area specifically is expected to be hit the hardest. Upwork, a company that is based in Santa Clara, conducted a survey recently. This survey finds that cities with the high housing pricing are losing the most amount of people. Both San Jose and San Francisco are among these high-priced cities. Experts are saying not to expect this exodus trend to end anytime soon. And now, with Eric to bring us the latest in sports.
Thank you, Eva. The San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks went head-to-head in an important divisional game on Sunday the 1st. Garoppolo suffered an ankle injury in the early minutes of the game, which led to backup quarterback Nick Mullins playing for San Francisco. With Seattle jumping out to an early lead in the first half, San Francisco looked to make a last-minute comeback in the fourth quarter by scoring 20 total fourth-quarter points. However, it was too little too late for the 49ers, and the Seattle Seahawks won the game 37-27. In the most competitive division in the NFL right now, the Seahawks moved to the top of the NFC West at 6-1. The 49ers moved to 4-4, which places them last in the NFC West. The 49ers make the news again, but this time with something much more serious. The San Francisco 49ers facility has been closed immediately due to one of their players testing positive for COVID-19. Kendrick Bourne, a wide receiver for the team, was the player that was diagnosed with the virus. While Kendrick Bourne remains in good health and high spirits after the diagnosis, it leaves the team a couple of tough decisions to make. The practice facility will remain closed until further notice. However, the 49ers' scheduled game against the Packers on Thursday, the 5th, will continue as planned. The NFL claims that all players will be tested or have already been tested, and the game will be safe to continue playing. That's all for sports news. Back to you, Eva.
Thanks, Eric. Election Day came with a delicious freebie, a free perfect way to stress out the high tensions of the election. A countless number of fast food chains like McDonald's, Burger King, Krispy Kreme, and Wendy's, and even Grubhub offer discounts. McDonald's is giving away one of their 3 new McCafe items, an apple fritter, a blueberry muffin, or a cinnamon roll, free with any purchase of hot or cold coffee in their orders placed through their app. This promotion runs through November 3rd through November 8th. Burger King is now offering $3 off for their Grubhub users who are ordering $18 or more. Krispy Kreme's offered a free glazed donut with a I voted sticker until November 8th. Wednesday's customers can get a free classic chicken sandwich with any purchase. It's classic, but also new. Wendy's is promoting it as a crispier and juicier fried chicken than its predecessor. Stress is through the roof for many of us during this election term. And to ease some of the stress, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio came to the polls delivering donuts to the poll workers in Ozone Park, a well-deserved token of appreciation for those working the polls. Bill de Blasio also tweeted hopeful messages encouraging people to stay healthy and to go cast their votes. Congratulations to all those who voted, and thank you for the poll workers around the U.S. That's all for Chabot's news this week. Thanks to all the students and staff at the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned for KCTH Channel 27 for more Chabot TV.